Michael Burry, a renowned short seller, is well recognized for his negative predictions about the financial markets. However, Elon Musk was forced to intervene after he voiced his strong sentiments about Tesla. Since then, the two corporate moguls have been swapping jabs on Twitter. And if things continue as they are, their high-profile dispute will only escalate. Hey, welcome to Stock Market Mate. For today's video, we'll talk about how Elon Musk exposed Michael Burry's market predictions. You're in for some beefy news. So subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to help us beat the YouTube algorithm. If you're done with that, then let's get right into it. Michael Burry opened Twitter to lament the fact that he was no longer a verified user of the social networking site. Elon Musk vowed to restore the investor's blue checkmark and couldn't help but troll him for opposing Tesla. Interesting. My last tweet with a blue checkmark was this one, the fund manager of The Big Short fame wrote. He was referring to a now deleted tweet in which he said, perhaps sarcastically, that Musk, buying enough shares to control Twitter would be good for America. You'll get it back, even though you shorted Tesla, you bastard, Musk replied, ending his tweet with a crying with laughing emoji. The CEO of Tesla and SpaceX disclosed that he had invested roughly $3 billion to acquire a 9.2% interest in Twitter, making him the firm's biggest shareholder. Additionally, Musk consented to join Twitter's board and limit his ownership of the company to 14.9% while serving as dictator. Burry, who runs Scion Asset Management, is best known for his lucrative bet against the mid-2000s housing bubble and for buying GameStop stock months before it skyrocketed in January 2021. Additionally, the investor predicted that Tesla stock will plummet and mocked its excessive valuation. He further said that Musk sold Tesla stock last year not to pay more taxes, but rather to profit from the inflated share price of the maker of electric vehicles and settle personal obligations. Burry is a broken clock, Musk responded to the claims, referring to Burry's repeated warnings about market crashes in recent years. Documents for Q3 show Burry closed out a put on Tesla, which was first initiated in Q1 2021 and accounted for 35.1% of his allocation. He also closed a Facebook call option, which amounted to 15.72% of exposure, and a short bet against the ARK Innovation ETF. Burry has also traded views with ARK Invest founder Cathie Wood over the summer when his short bet was made public. Wood used a flurry of tweets to claim Burry's short position was evidence that he did not understand the motivations of her fund. According to filings for his company, Scion Asset Management, Burry held puts worth around $31 million against the ARK Innovation ETF at the end of June 2021. This was first reported by Bloomberg, with Fintel.io offering the latest breakdown of Burry's holdings. The strong stance taken by Burry comes hot on the heels of Total Capital Management launching a dedicated ETF that will use swaps to bet against Wood's $22 5BN flagship fund. Burry has been an active short seller over the course of 2021, with electric vehicles giant Tesla coming into his crosshairs in March. ARK Invest has tapped into Tesla several times. A Citywire A-rated Wood is a perma-bull on Elon Musk's company, which occupies the top spot in the Innovation ETF with a 10.4% allocation. Elon Musk has been under Burry's radar for quite some time, long before their latest spat. Burry previously criticized Elon for his remarks about Tesla's competitor, Rivian, in which Elon stated that the company's true test would be achieving high production while breaking even on cash flow. However, Burry quote retweeted Elon's remarks, saying, "No, at Elon Musk, the true test is achieving that without massive government and electricity subsidies and the back of taxpayers who don't own your cars." In 2021, Michael Burry compared Tesla's hype to the dot-com bubble of the late 1990s and the housing bubble of the mid-2000s. In the SF Bay Area, Tesla is everywhere, says the investor in a now-deleted tweet. Everyone I know owns one or more, though some have gone back to ICE. He said, referring to conventional cars as combustion engines. I've talked to industry players down to the mechanics, he added, remarkably similar to 1999 and 2006. Burry also tweeted that the spectacular rally at the time was similar to previous bubbles in internet stocks, and real estate saw the same thesis many times while partying in 1999. Burry said, referring to the notion that Tesla's lofty stock price is self-fulfilling because the company can issue shares to fund its growth. Burry has taken aim at various cryptocurrencies, in contrast to Elon, who is infamous for aggressively promoting Bitcoin and Dogecoin. At the end of February 2021, he tweeted, "Bitcoin is a speculative bubble." The CEO of Scion stressed the enormous debt that was causing its price to rise and issued a warning that governments would eventually attempt to suppress rivals to the currencies. Later, he made it clear that he was not against Bitcoin, but rather that many of its owners misunderstood it and overpriced it. In February, Burry also referred to Dogecoin as a Doge's breakfast, and in October, he said that Shiba Inu was useless because of its plentiful supply. But he admitted that month that he was not wagering against cryptocurrencies and had already purchased a couple himself. After Elon claimed that the birth of his twins with Neuralink executive Siobhan Zilas was a response to declining US birth rates, Burry recently seemed to take a jab at the Tesla CEO. The billionaire had secretly fathered twins with Zilas in late 2021, and Burry went after his opponent shortly as it was discovered. Zilas, 36, previously worked at Tesla and now works with Elon at Neuralink. Babies born in the US are at 1950 levels, but that doesn't mean that bosses should sleep with subordinates to try to remedy the situation. Burry tweeted, "Bigger problem is nuclear families are at 1959 levels and woke doctrine wants it lower. More babies in broken families, not the way," he added. Burry's subtle jab hasn't gotten an answer from Elon yet, and given how regularly Burry deletes his tweets, he might not have the chance. That said, it's easy to see why these two influential figures don't see eye to eye. Burry has stated that the US economy is significantly at risk from rising consumer debt. He provided a Bloomberg chart demonstrating that in June, the United States' consumer borrowing reached $40 billion, the second highest level ever. A $27 billion increase was projected by economists. Burry tweeted that net consumer credit balances are rising at record rates as consumers choose violence rather than cut back on spending in the face of inflation. Remember the savings glut problem? No more. COVID helicopter cash taught people to spend again, and it's addictive. Winter is coming. The term COVID helicopter cash used by Burry most likely refers to the stimulus payments that the majority of Americans got during the pandemic as government authorities worked to stimulate the economy. Critics assert that the checks overheated the economy and caused the 8.5% inflation rate in the United States in July. Burry's tweet suggests that he anticipates a consumer credit shortage, which might heighten worries about a coming recession. Winter is Coming is a reference to the HBO series Game of Thrones, and it is used as a warning by characters in the show. Nevertheless, despite 2 consecutive quarterly GDP reductions, the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, some of the top Democrats, and other policymakers have cited robust consumer spending as proof that the US economy is not in a recession. Additionally, in June 2021, Burry predicted meme stocks, electric vehicle enterprises, and Bitcoin, warning that the pricing is reaching new heights, which will lead to a rapid and disastrous drop in the future. Burry has regularly voiced alarm about a looming financial collapse. In July, he openly challenged the White House for saying that the United States was not experiencing a recession. Burry noted that the White House wants us to characterize a recession as one in which consumers are not borrowing on credit cards to cover the recession despite the decline in the GDP. According to Burry, the pain for investors may not end until they give up owning tech stocks, cryptocurrencies, and NFTs. And that's about it for today's video. If you find our content helpful, kindly click the like and subscribe button. Also, you might want to leave a comment below. We love hearing from you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
If you enjoyed this video, you're going to want to watch one of these 2 videos right here. Enjoy!